We're learning new details about a murder-suicide that left 3 people dead, including an 8-month-old baby. The family tragedy unfolding on Monday on 3 separate locations. Now we're seeing how the events unfolded hour by hour. It all started in Woodland Hills at 3:40 in the morning. The LAPD says the suspect, Danielle Johnson, got into an argument with her partner, Jalen Cheney, stabbing him to death. The mother then fled the scene with her 2 children. 50 minutes later, 4:30 a.m., Johnson was driving on the 405 freeway in Westchester when police say the girls were thrown out of the vehicle. The baby was hit by a car and killed. Half an hour later, at 5 in the morning, Johnson was speeding in the city of Redondo Beach. She crashed into a tree and died. Our Leanne Suter has been closely following this story. Leanne, the sole survivor of this tragedy was the older sister.
Absolutely, Mark. Heartbreaking details coming out about this horrific tragedy. That sole survivor, just 9 years old, apparently witnessing almost all of the deadly violence.
A deadly end to a trail of violence as the mother behind the wheel of this crumpled Porsche Cayenne is killed when she slammed into a Redondo Beach tree. 34-year-old Danielle Johnson is also accused of killing her live-in boyfriend at their apartment and her 8-month-old daughter when she threw the infant and her 9-year-old sister out of her car on the freeway.
The suspect slowed the vehicle and opened the passenger door for her daughter and then told her to get out of the car. And when the daughter didn't do that, she then forcibly pushed her out of the vehicle in the middle of the freeway while moving, while the 9-year-old was holding the 8-month-old baby.
The 8-month-old fell to the pavement and was struck and killed by a passing vehicle. The 9-year-old managed to make it to the shoulder with moderate injuries. A horrific ending to deadly violence that began hours earlier for the sole survivor. Eyewitness News has learned the 9-year-old witnessed her mother stab her live-in boyfriend, 29-year-old Jalen Cheney, to death in their Woodland Hills apartment.
That little girl obviously saw more than she ever should have seen in any life yesterday. So I just hope someone's taking care of her because she's going to need it.
Investigators say Johnson killed Cheney early Monday morning after a fight that rammed the garage gate as she fled with her daughters.
Their door was wide open. There was blood on the floor leading into their apartment, and then a trail of it in the hallway leading up to the elevator, and I saw some blood on the walls.
A short time later, detectives say Johnson pushed her daughters out of her car on the 405 and drove away. Her final act, taking her own life at more than 100 miles per hour. Detectives now piecing together the trail of violence and searching for a motive.
Given that the only witness we really have to this crime now is a 9-year-old girl, there's just very little information we have other than there was a verbal altercation that turned violent and it ended in tragedy.
The 9-year-old now in the care of the Department of Children's Services. Her father lives out of state. It's unclear if Cheney was the father of the 8-month-old who died.
Eve lost it in Mürdër-Suïcïde. Love of many waxing cold. Want to give all the honor, glory, and praise to YAHAWAH, by Hashem, YAHAWASHI, by Hashem, RAWACHAA, QADASH. Love unto my elders and great millstone, taught me the truth of the Spirit. Singing honor to the elect. Peace and blessing to the 1/3 and to the confusion faces in the 4 corners of the earth. Shalom. I don't want to make this long, but you heard from the video in the beginning. So pretty much, Studahite chick, she got into an argument with her Jake boyfriend and ended up stabbing him to death. Took her 2 children, her daughters. I think one was 9, other one was 8 months old, and got on the freeway, slowed down. You know, we're telling her to get out the whip. She wouldn't get out, so she pushed her out while she was holding her 8-month-old sibling. And the baby, the 8-month died by getting struck by a vehicle, but that little baby, she survived. You know, she was 9. She's the sole survivor out of all 4 of them. You gotta imagine what that little girl had to see. Her mother, that was, and come to find out, the little girl, her father lived in a different state. So that chick, the female, she had 2 children from 2 different men, and they said they don't even know if the 8-month-old was the dude, Chancey or whatever his name was, that was at the apartment. Yeah, man, this is what's going on. Murder-suicide. Love of many waxing cold. And what's also ironic, Salakia, which I will leave the link to the article in the description box. She was in the Reiki, Reiki, and it's a Japanese form of like relieving stress from your body, like opening up your chakras and letting the healing flow, the current, just soothe you. I think that's what Tina Turner was on. Home Reiki. I don't know. I'm not saying it was. I'm not saying it is. But she was into that. What the heck happened in your life that made you react in such a way that this is way beyond, this is far from stress-free. You murdered your boyfriend, and then you push your children out of a moving vehicle on the freeway, and then you run head first smack into a tree going 100 miles per hour. And as you can see, it also said that she believed that there was a spiritual warfare going on. This is spiritual warfare. We are going against principalities in high places, man. This warfare is it's not physical. Though you constantly fighting against the flesh, this warfare is spiritual, man. Let's get that. 2 Corinthians 10:3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. So our warfare isn't with the physical, it's with the spiritual. And this is something that spiritually happened. Right? That's why the scripture says it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Lord. Because this is what can happen to you. And the crazy thing about this whole situation, which is very sad, the young girl, she was the only one that survived out of all of this. Now, can you imagine, just put yourself in the position of the father. You get a call saying the mother of your child committed a murder-suicide by killing her ex-boyfriend, killing her boyfriend, pushing your daughter and her sibling out of the vehicle on the freeway, and then she ran 100 miles per hour into a tree. And there's no telling how their relationship is. He's in a whole other state. So now all of a sudden, the only parent she has left is you. Ain't no telling how she used the daughter against him. I'm not saying she did, but you know how most women are. Child support, whatever the case may have been, And now this daughter only has you. Now your entire life has changed. It's just crazy, man. But this is how the Lord works. And also, before going further, she also had a Twitter repost. See if I can pull it up real quick. Looked like she was an attractive Eve too, but nonetheless though, man. Shit. All that filter and stuff. Let's get back to it. They said there was blood coming up out of apartments, all up on the floor. And it looked like there was some well-to-do off Edomites they had for neighbors, man. This was a post, Ayoka, what she go by online. This eclipse is the epitome of spiritual warfare. Get your protection on and your heart in the right place. The world is very obviously changing right now, and if you ever needed to pick a side, the time to do right in your life is now. Stay strong. You got this. And this is why I say social media, man, is a facade. A lot of people can't take it seriously because one minute she's posting that, next minute she's on the news for a murder-suicide. Right here it says she also penned a post on her X page alleging, quote, the apocalypse is here, unquote. Her last X post was a retweet from the page at Q the Storm, which says, alert, this is the final warning. Turn notifications on. Do not look at the eclipse. Something big is coming. All right. And then lo and behold, we all know what transpired. So So this is Matthew. I'm going to close out. I didn't want to make it long, but I wanted to touch on this. I'm like, dang, that's tragic. Think about that little girl. Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And the closer we get to our kingdom, remember, Yahawashi said we come back to earth, shall found faith on earth, shall the Son of Man. And that means that there are going to be more of those who shall be slain by the Lord than those who shall be saved, because how many people really do have faith on earth? So therefore, iniquity shall abound because they don't have faith in the Lord. So why would they fear what the Lord would do? Right? Nonetheless, also her last post, I'm gonna read this precept and I'm gonna close out. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 27. A man also or a woman that hath a familiar spirit, or that is a wizard, shall surely be put to death. They shall stone them with stones, the blood shall be upon them. All right, familiar spirits and wizards. And I also saw the one in Isaiah about the stargazers, but that's more for Esau, trying to be Nostradamus and whatnot. But all you astrology chicks, yeah, all y'all fall into the same category anyways, nonetheless. So with that being said, pray you was edifying, fed, stay in the spirit, don't fear it, just endure it. Ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing, stay humble, remain diligent, Kwame Allah, Buffalo Babal, Shalom.